everyone, it's Sarah here. It is a lovely rainy day in northwest England today. And when you think of English people, one of the things that probably pops into mind is tea. Uh, English people love their tea. Coffee is growing as a drink here, but the majority of people would probably have a cup of tea versus a cup of coffee. Tea is great for everything. If you're happy, have a cup of tea. If someone stops by for a visit, you have a cup of tea. If you finish dinner and you're having dessert, you have a cup of tea. If you're feeling down, you have a cup of tea. If you're feeling happy, have a cup of tea. Have a cup of tea. Cups of tea solves every problem in the world. So, there are two schools of thought on the proper way to make a cup of tea, and I'm going to go over those today in the video and show you how to make a cup of tea and enjoy one. So, the first school of thought is that you make the cup of tea and put the water in first before you add milk. Basically, to make a cup of English tea, you need a kettle to boil the hot water, a mug, of course, to put the tea in, and sugar and milk. Now, just like coffee, there are sure people that are English that don't take milk, don't take sugar, different amounts of sugar. Some people take one sugar, some people take two sugars, and by that I mean a teaspoon of sugar. So if you were someone like me, I take two sugars in my tea, you would take 2 teaspoons of sugar in your tea. So that's what you need to make a cup of tea. So some people believe when you make this cup of tea, you don't add the milk until after you have steeped the tea in the water. The way that I think, and I get compliments all the time from English people on my cups of tea, that you should make a proper cup of tea, is you add the milk first. Now, when I show you this, maybe it'll all make a little bit more sense. But anyway, I just wanted to go over the two schools of thought of making a cup of tea. So here in a minute, I'm going to show you my little tea area in the house and show you how I make. I'll do both. I'll do the milk before the water and the water before the milk versions of the tea, and just let you see the difference that it is. And I'll explain to you a little bit as to why I think the milk before the water is the best way to make a cup of tea. So, with that being said, let's shift our location to the kitchen and we will start making our cups of tea. So we are in the kitchen in the tea making area. This has all my things that I need to make a proper cup of tea with. So this is a kettle. Lots of Americans, when you say tea kettle, probably think of a kettle, a metal kettle that you would sit on a stovetop and listen for it to whistle when the water boils. Obviously, that is still made and you can still get tea kettles like this, but most people in England are going to have an electric tea kettle. And they vary from the way they look, the size, all that kind of stuff. You can get really fancy, expensive ones, or you can get one like this, which was, I think, about 12 pounds. And it suits my needs fine. So to start the process, you're going to boil your kettle. So it's pretty simple. You just push the button down, the light comes on, and the kettle starts to boil. The water can be filled all the way up to here, but the less water, the quicker it boils. Okay, so the water is boiled. You probably noticed while the water is boiling, I poured some milk into one of the mugs. So if I had to measure this out, um, let's do it, shall we? Let's measure it out. So here's the measuring jug. We will do this in cups. It's got both measurements. So it is below 1/4 of a cup. So we're talking maybe like 2 tablespoons worth of milk. Not a lot of milk, but there you go. So that is about how much milk I put in my milk cups of tea. So then we will need sugar. Now, this is a teaspoon, typical of what you would use to measure tea with. And I actually use a product called Half Spoon, which is slightly healthier for you than actual sugar, because you'll drink lots of tea while you're in England. So even though earlier I said I take 2 sugars in my tea, I actually take 1 teaspoon of half sugar, which is similar to a Splenda blend of sugar, actual sugar with sweetener. So you use half the amount and still get the same taste as using the full amount. So then my favorite tea is Yorkshire tea. This is a cute little tin that came as a promotion of something they were doing about planting trees, but Yorkshire tea bags are square. Another thing you'll notice is tea bags here do not have strings with little paper things on the end like a lot of tea bags in America have. It will just strictly be the tea bag. My second favorite tea brand is PG Tips, and their tea bags, which are here, are, you can always tell is a PG Tips bag because it is like a little pouch, a triangle pouch. So they make nice tea as well, but Yorkshire's my favorite. So you get a tea bag. So you've got in this cup my milk, my sugar, and my tea bag. And in this one, I just have my tea bag and my sugar. So I'm going to pour the water in. Now, in the cup that has already got the milk in it, you can pour your water straight to the top of the mug. In this mug, I'm obviously going to have to leave some room because I'm going to be adding milk to it. So this one, as you can see, is quite a ways from the top of the mug. Now, right away you can see a difference. The one that has the milk in it is obviously a light milky color. This one obviously is tea colored. So basically the next step is just letting the tea sit in the mug and steep for a little bit. If you actually read a box of tea, which I have here, it gives you brewing instructions, and it recommends 4 to 5 minutes of steeping, but that, I can tell you, will never happen. Nobody's going to stand here for 4 to 5 minutes. So now I'm going to take the tea bag out of the tea, or the mug that has no milk in it, because this is going to be a really strong cup of tea already. And obviously it has not sat for 4 to 5 minutes. So the tea with milk in it, what I'm doing now is just basically squeezing the side of the tea bag against the mug to get the tea out of it. And that sort of speeds up the process where you don't have to wait the 4 to 5 minutes for it to steep. Now, this cup of tea is finished. As you can see now, it is a sort of, I don't know what color you would say that is, sort of a lightish brown color. When my tea is this color, I know it's perfect. Which goes to when I said I was going to explain the benefits of pre-doing your milk. If you do your milk first, your tea is going to be the same every time you do it, because you've put in your predetermined amount of milk, and you can adjust how long you let the tea bag sit in the tea until you get the color that you want, and you know it's going to taste the same. When you pre-do this, I am going to have to sort of guesstimate on now. Examination of these, they look pretty much the same color, but it can vary greatly if you don't do your milk first. So now the only thing left to do is to curl up on the couch, or the sofa as the English would say, and enjoy. So that is how you make a proper cup of tea. You can do it either way. I'm just saying my way is right. No. As I said, you can do as many sugars as you want. I know people that drink their tea with no sugar. I know people that drink their tea with 1 sugar. I know people that drink their tea with 2 sugars, which is probably the most common. And I've even met people that have as many as 4 sugars in 1 tea, which is a bit much, but so hopefully you've learned a little bit about the English today, and teas, and the wonderful magic brew that solves all the world's problems. So I will see you guys again in my next video, and hope you have a lovely day. Bye.